I'm just gonna put that right there. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Kurt Russell, Michael Rooker, and is written and directed by James Gunn, the same guy responsible for the amazing, fantastic, I'm just trying to grab it here, wonderful first Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite, if not my favorite MCU movie. Just an incredibly fun time, and I love it to death. And in this movie, our lovable roguish heroes are back, doing their thing, just hanging out, saving the galaxy, and then some more villains arrive that they gotta take on and deal with. And then Kurt Russell shows up as Star-Lord's father, and so Star-Lord's learned about his past, who he is, where he really came from, and we get an incredibly fun adventure in space. It's just, that's the key word for this movie that I'll keep coming back to, is fun. Entertaining, adventurous, something that you just go, have an experience where you really just enjoy yourself. Same like the first one, where it's like, yes, is there certainly things you can nitpick about the first movie? Yeah, the villain's not good in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. But the movie's just such a fun ride that you don't care, like, yeah, maybe the villain's a little lackluster, so what, it's still like the best time I've had at a theater in a while. And I really do love and adore that first movie, so I was very excited to return to these characters that I all love. Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, fantastic. I want to be Star-Lord. This fun-loving, carefree type of dude that, yeah, he's a good leader and all, but he's still sort of a man-child. And in this, he's not just a quippy guy with Awesome Mix Volume 2 in his little Walkman. He's got a good story going on. He gets to expand his character. He's learning about who he is. Is he really special? Who was his father? He's getting to know him. That's all really good stuff. And for pretty much every character throughout the movie, for the most part, like, they're getting good drama. They're not just fun, quippy people. Not that we mind. There's a lot of that too. But they're getting some good drama, some good development for their characters to expand upon. More in this one, she gets to connect a lot more with her sister. We're learning and exploring their past because, you know, Thanos, the big villain that's eventually going to show up and be the villain, we're learning about him, how he was as a father, and how he really scarred and abused them in their youth, and why they hate each other. And Nebula, played by Karen Gillan, maybe overplays it a little bit. She's maybe a little too intense at times, but overall they're very good together. And Gamora and Nebula, that's like the best they can do, because otherwise, without Nebula, Gamora doesn't have the biggest of purpose. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of flirtation with Star-Lord, but aside from that, you need her and her sister and Thanos. That's her big connection to everything, really. Rocket Raccoon in this one, we're exploring why he is the way he is. He's really hard-edged, just angry dude, always stealing stuff from people. We're gonna learn why he became that way. And then Yondu, the big surprise one, like, wow, I enjoyed him a lot in the first one. Michael Rooker was really good. But in this, I was like, this is like a lot of Yondu. He's like one of the main characters at this point, and I'm happy with it. He's really good. Where they took his character was wonderful, and I had a big emotional connection to him. I'm like, yes, I love this. This is great. And then the characters that don't really expand or get explored more, like Drax, we know who he is. His family was murdered, he's a badass, and he's one of the main sources of comic relief because he's not a very changing character. He just is how he is. He's kind of an asshole accidentally because he doesn't get certain things, so he just comes off like a super douche. In a funny way, though. They use it to its potential with the new character Mantis. Like, him and her interaction is a lot of fun, and his connection with the Guardians, like, that's where it comes from. It's just some sprinkled in heart is where we get to really enjoy him. And he doesn't need to be explored. He is how he is, and we enjoy him for that. But then we got Baby Groot, and he's a baby, he's a little baby tree, and he's adorable, and that's his thing. That's his purpose for the movie, is to be utterly adorable and cute, and it just, you cut to him in the movie, it's a laugh, or just everyone, like, it's adorable, and everyone's like squealing, oh, that's what he is in this, and I loved it. I understood, like, yes, he's just there for the laughs and the cute factor, and I was happy about it, because it was very cute. Because he's just a dumb baby that's running around in these battles, because he's a baby, so he's really stupid, and it's adorable, really. Then Ego, played by Kurt Russell, fantastic. That dude has a personality to him that he brings to everything, where it's just a likability. You see him, he's cool, he's likable, you enjoy seeing him on the screen, and he does that. He gets to play more shades to his character. He has some very good stuff in this. I really liked him. He was a great addition. He had some great motivations for what he was doing, and when they explored him more and we really got to know him, I'm like, I like this. I think this works really well. It's interesting. And then to really quickly touch on them, the main-ish antagonist for the movie, the Gold People, the Sovereign, that's the Marvel influence coming in, where they're just sort of there, they're very underwhelming. They show up at the beginning and it's like, okay, if this is just the beginning little thing and they're gone, that's fine. But every now and again they pop up for a little bit. And it's just a distraction. They're not horribly awful, but there's nothing about them good. Like, I like their makeup is all. Like, they're all gold, and that's cool. It's a cool visual, but they serve little to no purpose, and then they set up like, maybe next time they'll be important. It's Marvel, what can you do? It's always, some shit won't be important now, it'll be important later, but you're gonna take it now, because it's Marvel and you're gonna love it, damn it. And speaking of visuals, this movie has them jammed up and bursting from the seams. The visuals in this are wonderful. Like, just look at the poster for a second, you can kind of tell, like, it's gonna be very colorful, something certain Marvel movies lack in. They're very gray, washed out colors. This one, we're in space, let's make it look cool. Colors out the ass, really, and it's wonderful in that way. Just a full palette of visuals coming at you, very trippy at times, and then like just the camera work. James Gunn's camera work in this is wonderful. The dude seems like someone who actually had a vision and went in and it's like, I'm not just gonna do the Marvel factory product like every other thing type direction. He actually threw in some flavor and made it interesting and enticing in its own way. So when you look at it, there's Hitchcock homages and everything. It looks great. Not to mention the CGI, which actually is very picture perfect. It looks great. I understand it's a lot of CGI everywhere, but you can't tell. Like, you don't look at things and go, that looks totally fake. It looks very, very good, and it's very believable. So when you're in the action scenes, you know, space battles, this and that, it's believable. And the action itself, it's good. It's pretty good action, you know. There's nothing uber memorable because it's all fun action. It's not meant to be super, super serious. This is a very fun movie. Don't take it too seriously. Just have a good time, so the action reflects that. Very fun action. And yeah, that's the thing with the movie. It's here to be fun, a good time, to really enjoy yourself and be entertaining. And it is. It's got a super fun vibe where you're just sitting there. I was sitting there laughing constantly. It's one of the funniest Marvel movies I've ever seen. Just hilarious, and that's just what it is. Like, you can take it seriously. There is for sure drama. There is for sure moments of intensity. But for the most part, it's just there to be fun. Enjoy yourself. Don't take it too seriously. We're all here to have a good time. And that's the thing. It's super quippy and witty for a movie. Everyone's funny. Everyone's the comic relief, certainly. But it has good character arcs. Like, these characters, we're exploring them more, so we get to really like them more and care about them. And it's good writing with it. Like, the whole theme of this movie is family. I know there's the Fast and Furious movies where they say it's about family, but that's bullshit. In this movie, it's actually true. It's about family and all these different characters exploring their arcs with family, like Star-Lord learning about who his family is and who he is, Gamora and Nebula, their family connections, their scarring from the past and why they hate each other. Yondu and Rocket have their good arcs. Like, every character's arc ties in with family, and it's really good. It's really well written in that way. I really latched on and cared to everyone because it's super funny. So they're likable just because they're funny, but unlike certain Marvel movies where it just ends there, like they're quippy, funny, but they're not deep characters, here we get them expanded. We care about them a lot, and then it hits you with some emotions where you're like, I'm there, you got me. I'm just, like, I cried in the movie quite a bit. It was like, you got me for sure. It's a very heartfelt movie. And the thing is, the balance is very good. It's very witty, it's very heartfelt, it's got some dramatics, and it balances so the tone never feels uneven, like, oh, it's super funny, and suddenly it's like really dark and dramatic and heartfelt. Like, it keeps it balanced really well. It's very smooth in that way. The writing at times might be a little bumpy, where it might be a little bit, I wouldn't say scatterbrained, but it takes them a while to get into the groove of things. Like the first one, it was very simplistic, and in this one the writing a little less so, but the thing is, I enjoyed this one so much. I was having so much fun. I don't mind if it takes a while to, alright, here's the point of the movie. It took time to settle in. And then the soundtrack. Like the first one, this is more of that awesome mix. Volume 2 this time, and the first soundtrack, wonderful. These great 70s and 80s pop rock type hits. Just great stuff that you wouldn't normally find. Just like, how would I hear this stuff? I don't know. I go see a movie and suddenly, here's like 12 great songs. Love them, enjoy them. And I did. And this one, more of the same. Here's a bunch of great music to really help with the vibe of this movie. Makes it feel super unique in that way. I don't go see Avengers and start hearing what I'm hearing in this movie. When I go see Avengers, it's not super colorful and bright, surprisingly enough. It's not as fun. Like, this one has a super fun vibe. Great music that assists in that fun vibe, and the visuals to back it up with the witty characters and the heartfelt. Like, everything is balanced so well. This is really my favorite chunk of the MCU universe as far as the movies go. I just love returning to these guys, the Guardians of the Galaxy, a great group of people that play off each other really well. They're super fun to watch, and now we've expanded upon and improved on the first movie. We're getting more into the characters. I really care about them now. I'm really emotionally invested in them. And the thing really is the amount of fun I had, the amount of enjoyment I had watching this. this was unparalleled by most Marvel movies. It was right up there again with the first one. It pretty much matches it, and on any given day, it's like, oh, it's a little better, a little worse, or about even, because they're both just the best the MCU has to offer. Super fun times. Who cares about this or that? Let's just have a really fucking fun time. When I see a Guardians movie, it feels different than everything else in the MCU, which I love a lot of them, but they all have a certain same feel to them. This one feels unique. It feels special. It's always a treat to go see them. There's something special I get to go enjoy, and I love it to death. I would give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 an A+. Just like the first movie. Utterly adored it. I'm eagerly anticipating when they come back again. Infinity War, they're going to be back, and then a little bit after that we get Volume 3. I can't wait. I just want to go and enjoy them. They're my favorite in the MCU. It's my favorite. The love that people have for the Avengers and stuff, I really enjoy those, but this is like next level, the epitome of fun. And I could nitpick, like the Sovereign are kind of weak antagonists, but they're really an afterthought, and I get over it because there's other stuff. There's other antagonists going on, there's other issues that get addressed, so it's like, that makes up for it in a certain aspect. And it's just, yeah, when you have as much fun as I did at this movie, which I don't know if I can explain enough, like the enjoyment that I had from it was so much that I don't care about little flaws that I could nitpick. It's great. I love it to death. Comment below, tell me your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.